Alright guys, welcome to Mining Positivity with PJ on the Monday Mind. And my voice is starting to feel quite a bit better. I'm not 100%, but I'm getting there. Um so I kind of want to, before we get into anything, this whole week is going to be some kind of quick episodes showing a bunch of small little builds. But before we do that, I want to show something I put together real quick. This is all temporary, but I needed a way to get to the villagers really quickly. With the zombifier and zombifying people up and breeding them and all this stuff. And because I have soul speed 2, I just laced all of this with soul sand, and it just helps me get to the other side where my villagers are much quicker. So then I just have to close that up so the villagers can't actually get in there. I kind of paused all work. We did get a cat spawn in here. I think there might be 2 actually. But I paused work on all of this and, you know, the zombifier and all that stuff because I really want to focus all the way up until Halloween on a couple spooky builds. And before Halloween, on the final episode for the Halloween series, I want to go and fight the dragon. I think that that would be obviously super spooky for our Spooktober special episodes here. I mean, fighting the dragon is something that we have to get done anyways because we need to start getting to the end and some end cities and get shulker boxes and things like that. So, but let's talk about what we're going to be doing this week. So something I've been wanting to do in Minecraft for a long time, and the current welcome screen in Minecraft has inspired me, is make a spooky village or a spooky land or a theme park. I'm thinking like haunted house walkthrough, mini roller coaster, all kinds of stuff. So we'll get to what's going on here in a second here. So I'm thinking this entire area is going to be that. Everything from the shore over there to way over there, a little bit past that mushroom stalk right there. So the only way that you'll be able to actually get into this area will be right here. This will be it. You'll be able to pull up a boat and then enter this area. And I want to make this as creepy as I can. Put a bunch of spooky things up in here. I plan on using a bunch of Halloween banners and stuff like that, and putting a lot of Halloween banners around the village and just our homestead in general. So yeah, now let's talk about what I'm doing here. So I think I have found a much better way. Let me eat that real fast. I know in the recordings when I listen back when I'm eating, it's like just crazy loud. But I think I've found a better way of terraforming the island. I think spreading this and then digging this up and putting dirt in its place is much more efficient than what I've been doing. Because what I found is if you use the hoe, I mean, it just shreds this. And then it's so fast throwing the dirt down. Now this podzol is here because I was planting some of the large spruce trees. And it wouldn't convert the mycelium. I thought it might just convert it, and that was my original plan. But it was converting the dirt underground, which is strange to me. But yeah, this is just a much better method. It's much faster. This spreads a lot further. It's going to take way less time. So I'll be able to just kind of make my way through this. And then I think, does this spread upward? It does, yeah. And so that's weird how it just like converts the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, if there's a carpet on there too, you can't actually spread it. So yeah, but that it just look how easy it'll be to change out what that is when I'm ready to do that. Yeah, this is my go-to method, definitely moving forward for terraforming this island, because digging it all up and then making a straight line of like grass blocks or stone of some kind and then filling it all in with dirt and then fighting against the mycelium spreading when you're trying not to. The other thing I realized is I hadn't actually made one of these trees yet. I made one of those earlier and I did not have a problem with it. Let's see. Maybe because there are things around it. Sometimes when there are things right next to a tree, they don't want to actually grow. Yeah. So, if I use something that has silk touch on here, those leaves actually are really nice. And I think they're really cool. So I've been getting a few of these. I think on Java, they actually have some kind of effect where it looks like leaves are falling out of those particular branches. So yeah, you don't get them if you're using the hoe because that just has fortune on it. And I don't think you can actually get seeds from these. You can get sticks, but I don't think there are any seeds to be gotten from that. No. So, and this is a different kind of wood, but it's like oak wood, I think. Or it was supposed to be a different kind of wood. It's supposed to be like, yeah, azalea wood, but they just made it oak logs, which seems kind of lazy, but not a big deal. So, we will spread through all this and then terraform it. And I'm curious too. I think this converts certain stone. Yeah, look, it just turned that stone into itself. This stuff is crazy. It's so weird. But yeah, I'm just gonna terraform like crazy through here. I'm gonna get a bunch of mossy carpet. I'm gonna get these azalea bushes. I'm gonna get all this stuff. It's so brittle that even just doing it with your hand winds up changing all of it. And then I'll go through and put the dirt in place. And finally, I think what I'll do, you know, if maybe that actually doesn't look horrible. Because it is kind of like a muted green. So in a place like a graveyard or something like that, it might not look bad. The reason I don't do the whole island with that stuff, though, is, I mean, the grass block in a mushroom island is so vibrant. I mean, it's like a neon green. Look at that versus that. Yeah, definitely that looks so much better to me. I just really like green. So the more vibrant the green, the better for me. But yeah, so instead of mining, we're not going to be mining on today's Mining Positivity episode. Excuse me 1 second. I had to cough there. Yeah, instead of mining, we're just gonna have a conversation while I'm terraforming this land with this new method here. So yeah, in today's positive thought, I was thinking about this. I was thinking garbage in, garbage out. That's something I've been pondering this week is, you know, we've all heard this a million times when it comes to eating. Like, the things you eat matter. So if you eat a bunch of junk food, you're going to ultimately feel like junk. You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel tired. You're not going to have a lot of energy. If you eat a lot of healthy food, however, your body will be able to break that down a lot easier. You'll be able to pull out the nutrition it needs from it with little effort. And you just all around feel better. So, but how does this apply to positivity? Well, I think one way it applies is that the same concept kind of goes for the things that we're watching, the things that we're listening to, but most importantly, the things that we are giving our attention to. So, right now, pretty much any news station you tune into is going to be very, very negative. Just lots and lots of negative stuff, and that's predominantly because of the fact that when they post positive stories, they don't get as many views as they do when they post negative ones, which is unfortunate, but it's the truth. And so the negative stories, the ones about terrible things happening to people and all over the world, are the ones that people tune into more. And so the media continues to spread those kinds of stories the most often because it gets the most views. A story on the news about some potential danger to you and your community is going to get a lot more views than a story about a rescued kitten in a tree or some other positive thing that may be going on in the community. But there are positive things going on in the community. So, but what I'm trying to get at here is, what are you spending time thinking about? What are you spending effort telling other people about? You are not the news, and it is not your job to go out there and spread stories and different things to get attention and views. That's the media's job, right? That's their job, is to get views so that their stockholders and all this stuff can get paid by their sponsors, who get paid by the more views that they have, the more they can charge the sponsors. to run their ads and different things like that. So that's their job. Our job as people is to help, encourage, strengthen one another, um, spread positivity to one another so that the world can be a bit better because life can be hard. It can be. It can be difficult at times. But the thing that makes it better is us. We are the thing that makes life better for ourselves and for other people. That's not an outside influence thing. That's directly up to humanity to make life better for humanity. So, well, I got to be careful over here. I don't want to spread too much down there. Um, but yeah, it is our job to make this world better. And so I wanted to challenge you this week to make sure and take stock of the things that you're listening to, watching, and talking about. Are those things positive things? Now, sure, there are plenty of times where there are causes that may not be super positive, but that need to be spoken about, or that there are things that are not being done properly by others and they need to be addressed, and we need to address those things. Sure, absolutely. We don't ignore those things, we address them. But if that is all or predominantly what we are talking about, thinking about, listening to, watching, that's a problem because garbage in, garbage out. So I want to encourage you to not only spend some time reflecting on the things that you have been thinking about, watching, listening to, and talking about, but also to, after you've taken stock, to make some changes if there's a lot of negative things in your life. You don't have to watch the news every day. It's not necessary. You don't have to watch a show that is dealing in negative content every day. It's not necessary. You don't have to listen to music that is highly negative or derogatory or aggressive against a particular type of person or people or anything like that, or gender. These are choices that we make all the time. And so we can make a choice for something better. So, guys, that is my positive message of the day, of the week, actually, for our morning positivity on Mondays. And yeah, so this is just something I've been thinking about, something I've been trying to be more conscious of is what are my thoughts dwelling on? What am I giving my mind to kind of feed off of? Again, going back to that garbage in, garbage out. My mind needs to feed. It needs to think. It needs to process. It needs to be active and it needs to be used. And so the way it does those things is by the things that I dwell and think about. And so, are those things positive? And if they're not, what can I do to increase the level of positivity in my life? Because the more good I put into my mind, the more good is going to come out of it. And so, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you can spend some time reflecting and, oh yeah, look at that. The carpet spread on there, but it didn't actually change the block. Spend some time reflecting and then make whatever changes you feel are necessary for you. So, by the next episode, I think over the next entire week here, I'm hoping to get out one episode every single day this week. We'll see how that goes. But I'm thinking little builds just every day. So, and just transforming this entire area into the spooky thing that I want it to be. So I think sometimes when I do this, it actually creates blocks. Oh no, it's creating those azalea plants. And then, yeah. And then it just kind of pushes me out of the way when I do that. And you can't actually bone meal the carpet to get it to spread. It has to be a mossy block that's alone and by itself. But this is such a great method. I mean, it would have took me forever to dig all this out and replace it with dirt. And now I could just get rid of all this mycelium. And as I'm transforming or terraforming the landscape, it can't spread. The mycelium can't actually spread anymore. So by the next episode, I'm hoping that this whole area is prepped and I've got at least one or two of the little spooky buildings in that I'm hoping to create, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, guys, I'm PJ. You are awesome. You are amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mining Positivity. Bye, guys.